Why does this angel have the same staff that is in the logo that hospitals and ambulances use? Well, this is actually the Greek god Hermes, and this staff that he is commonly depicted with is called a caduceus. It depicts two snakes wrapped around a staff with two wings at the top, very much like the wings commonly depicted on Hermes' feet. You see, Hermes is the god of merchants, messengers, travelers, and tricksters, and his staff is meant to represent those things. The staff itself represents the staff commonly carried by heralds, who were essentially messengers who would be protected entering whatever territory they went into so that they could safely deliver messages. And the two snakes are meant to represent two opposing forces being brought into truce with one another, which is something that Hermes famously did. It is meant to represent the deal that is made between merchants and traders. And the wings, of course, represent the swiftness of travel and the transition between two worlds, as Hermes commonly did because he was the messenger of the gods. But this has absolutely nothing to do with medicine, so why do hospitals and physicians use it? And that is because in 1902, the US Army Medical Corps adopted the symbol of Hermes' caduceus instead of the actual symbol of medicine and healing, and nobody ever noticed. And over the years, it was emblazoned on badges and uniforms, hospitals, medical documents, and there was no going back. The symbol that they meant to use was this one, the rod of Asclepius. It looks similar, but with only one snake and no wings, and as a 19-year-old EMT, I remember thinking this is probably because we're a step below physicians. We haven't earned our wings yet, or something. But the two symbols actually have absolutely nothing to do with one another. Asclepius was the Greek god of healing and the patron deity of physicians, and his staff represented three things. The snake symbols rebirth because snakes shed their skin. It also symbolizes the thin line between life and death because snake venom can kill, but it can also create cures and heal. And it represents the physician's role throughout this dealing with life, death, and everything in between. But I don't actually think that that's the end of the story because this symbol is even more ancient and can be seen in the Bible in the book of Numbers. While the Israelites are wandering through the wilderness, God becomes displeased with their disobedience, and he sends a plague of snakes to bite and kill the Israelites. They plead with Moses and ask him to bargain with God to make it stop, and God tells him to make a bronze serpent on a rod and have all of the Israelites who are bit by snakes look at it and they will be healed, which in itself is rich with symbolism and has many different meanings. But the point is, it is a serpent on a rod and it has the ability to heal. So in reality, the reason that Western medicine is symbolized by the caduceus is just because the US Army Corps made an honest mistake when they meant to use the rod of Asclepius. Or maybe they knew exactly what they were doing when they chose the staff that was historically associated with merchants and tricksters. This was right around the time that the pharmaceutical industries and the health insurance companies were coming into prominence. What do you guys think?